On this episode of Mysteries and Unknowns, is Bigfoot real? Does a bipedal humanoid-looking creature all covered in hair really exist? Or is it all a hoax? Well, it's known by many names: Bigfoot, Sasquatch, the skunk ape, yeti, and many more. It's been sighted on all continents except for Antarctica. It has a history as deep and as long as the U.S. history itself. But is it real? Is Bigfoot a real flesh and blood creature that just has not been officially discovered by science? There have been countless expeditions to hunt for the elusive creature. All have failed to turn up anything significant in the way of evidence. Yet the sightings persist. Are we to believe that this creature, assuming it does exist, is so elusive that it's been able to consistently remain undetected for so long? But if not, if we assume it doesn't exist, what keeps the sightings so persistent? What are people really seeing, if not a genuine Sasquatch? Is there another more rational explanation? The creature has remained a myth for all of its tenure as a possible animal, but yet it still remains that, a myth. And just because many witnesses have claimed to have seen such a creature, does that automatically equate to a 100% chance of reality? I don't think so. But it does still have a lot of weight in the argument. It's sort of like the UFOs, alien abductions, ghosts, and other paranormal phenomena. No significant scientific proof or evidence has been officially presented. No dead bodies, no skeletal remains, nothing. Yet the stories and the sightings of Bigfoot continue. One hot spot is the American Northwest, Washington State, Oregon, Montana, and parts of southwestern Canada, but also in Texas, Ohio, Maine, Florida, Northern California, and all over the United States. And perhaps the most famous of all the video quote-unquote evidence of this creature is the Patterson-Gimlin film from 1967. Shaky, shot on an old film-style camera, but yet it captures, if indeed real, the best evidence for the existence of Bigfoot. Many scientists, journalists, and anthropologists and other professionals have examined the footage, but based on the low quality, which seems to be a common factor in nearly all Bigfoot sighting videos, has proved any conclusive decision to be made on its authenticity. Roger Patterson, who I believe was the one that actually filmed the video, passed away in the early 1970s, but Mr. Gimlin, who was with him at the time, is still alive, and he swears that the film was 100% real. No guy in a suit, but 100% real. Authentic Bigfoot. We can't be conclusive. It's impossible to tell with certainty. It remains a mystery, or perhaps for you to decide. I personally would love to set up an expedition of my own, and since they have been spotted all over the United States, I wouldn't even have to travel that far necessarily. However, the chances of actually gaining some good footage would increase upon visiting sites that are so-called hotspots, I would imagine, like the aforementioned Northwest, but perhaps one of these days, I will put together a team and go out for a hunt. I think it'll be fun. It certainly can't hurt anything. Many others have tried and failed, but someday someone might just acquire the right footage or find a body or some form of definitive evidence to prove once and for all the existence of this creature. I am optimistic. I think based on the evidence that does exist, there's still a good chance that Bigfoot is real, but it would have to be a really intelligent being to be able to continuously hide itself from humanity. Would you agree? And I mean hide as in not make its presence well known. Where did the dead go? Do they also bury their dead as we do? And if so, are they clever enough to do it in such a way as to avoid any detection from us? It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? When you get down and really think deep about the possibilities, it makes you wonder. Other theories have been put forth that perhaps Bigfoot isn't native to planet Earth, but rather an alien living among us, which would explain why there are no bodies. Perhaps they take all their bodies elsewhere. Now that's a far stretch, but anything's possible, right? I suppose either it comes down to whether you believe they're real or you don't. And just like any other belief we try to justify, if you honestly believe Bigfoot exists, you'll find ways to subjugate the lack of evidence, similar to any religion or belief in the supernatural. If there's no evidence, you kind of have to make up your own. Although, some hair samples have been taken from various places after a sighting took place, and that hair has been analyzed and subsequently determined to have come from an unknown primate. Now, that's pretty convincing evidence in and of itself, but still, you still have to explain their elusiveness and the lack of bodies or remains. Don't they ever die? Surely, if they're carbon-based life forms like ourselves and any other living being on Earth, they do. But what if there's some other form of life we're oblivious to? Many do believe we have aliens living among us, and we're not just talking about the wacko in the trailer park next door. We're talking about professional scientific scholars that do believe not only that aliens have already visited Earth, but are living among us. So is it a stretch to then put forth that theory that Bigfoot is one such alien? Nobody really knows, and that's why it's a mystery and an unknown. Perhaps someday we'll find what's needed to justify the actual existence and put this myth to rest, or find some proof otherwise. Maybe in 10, 20, 50 years, Sasquatch will be just another primate on the list of known species. It would be interesting to know what part these animals are on the evolutionary plane. They would inevitably have to be related to us and to other primates, I would guess, such as chimpanzees and gorillas. I mean, we as humans share 99% of the DNA with chimps, so it wouldn't be surprising at all. Perhaps Bigfoot is the missing link evolutionary scientists have been forever searching for. Only time will tell. What do you guys think? Does Bigfoot really exist? Or has it all been one big prank on humanity? Let me know in the comments section below, and that will conclude episode 2 of Mysteries and Unknowns, a new series I'm trying out here on my YouTube channel. If it's successful, I hope to take on a brand new channel dealing only in the science and speculation of the mysterious and the unknown. I'm Andy Michaels. Thanks for watching.